All these blacks scattered everywhere were from here. They suffered the most degrading disaster in the world, to be turned into slaves. On the heels of slavery came now the Balkanization of Africa, the colonization of Africa. Africa was shared like a cake and controlled, and its resources planned. He understood this, and he also understood that independence without addressing the distortions, especially the distortion of division, would be meaningless independence. And that's why, for him, he understood the 4 goals of independence, the 5 goals of independence. Number 1, of course, was ensure, as the Right Honorable Prime Minister has told me, to ensure that liberation is not a prison, that Africa must be free. Independence, and their slogan in most places was independence now. And I think one of our own Ignatius Misasi had that. The Chango Machos, he quotes, Chango Macho attended some of the Pan-Africanist Congress, the lecture to remember a great hero, a great Pan-Africanist. What came immediately to my mind is my commanding chief, what he has been telling us on such occasions. Say such great people, Nkurumah, Nyerere, Mandela, you can never discuss them just in a just way without linking them to the African story. So the young generation, you need to begin to take interest in the question of Africa. And Nkurumah, I think Kwame Nkurumah is symbolic of this. One, he understood, I think clearly he had understood what became Africa. Fortunately, he hails from part of Africa that had been, those parts of Africa that had shown the glory of Africans. Because when I was studying history, I remember studying the great Ghana Empire. So I am sure he must have been inspired by that fact. Africa, what the president has told us when we are observing such important name, is to remember that Africa is the greatest land in the past and today. Africa is territorially superior to all other parts of the world. Amazing that Africa is 12 times bigger than India. I hope you young people, that those facts are on your fingertips. Africa is 4 times greater than the United States of America, greater than China. And that means it speaks to even the enormity of the resources. You can't have such a great, enormous place and you see, resource-wise, it's inferior. That's what you people need when you are dreaming of running away from this great land. Remember, we are the greatest. Secondly, we are the cradle. We are the beginning of humanity. All human beings are Africans. I know you. When you are remembering Nkurumah, this fact should resonate. We are the cradle of humankind. All so many millions of years, all human beings already existed here in this part of the world, the Great Lakes region, particularly also what Uganda, you can go to Uganda. Thirdly, Africa pioneered civilization because of being great, being the first. When you hear of the Ghana empires, the Maj empires, the Timbuktu civilization, that should be a stark reminder. However, in the last just 600 years, Africa now is at the tail of the ladder. We are now regarded the most backward, the most marginalized, the most despised. That's a contradiction. And this is what intrigued heroes like Nkwame Nkurumah and his compatriots. How come Africa, glorious in many ways, all these blacks scattered everywhere were from here. They suffered the most degrading disaster in the world, to be turned into slaves. On the heels of slavery came now the Balkanization of Africa, the colonization of Africa. Africa was shared like a cake and controlled, and its resources planned. He understood this, and he also understood that independence without addressing the distortions, especially the distortion of division, would be meaningless independence. And that's why, for him, he understood the 4 goals of independence, the 5 goals of independence. Number 1, of course, was to ensure, as the Right Honorable Prime Minister has told me, to ensure that liberation is not a prison, that Africa must be free. Independence, and their slogan in most places was independence now. And I think one of our own Ignatius Misasi had that. The Chango Machos, he quotes, Chango Macho attended some of the Pan-Africanist Congress. The Right Honorable has told you, as a champion of OA, his dream, when the meeting took place in Addis Ababa to found OA for him, his line was, we must have the United States of Africa now. He wanted one Africa, USA. Now you are all dreaming of USA on the other side. Nkrumah had already proclaimed that we need the United States of Africa. By now, we would be having 2 USAA and USAD. But now we have still remained FSA, Fragmented States of Africa. To remember Nkwame Nkurumah, we must really come back to his dream. And he had thought that as they assembled in Addis Ababa, for him he was ready to step down as the president of Ghana. If only other leaders on the continent would agree to form a government in Addis Ababa. I hope that I am not exaggerating. For him, he had wanted all people who assembled in Addis Ababa to leave their flags there and raise the flag of African Union and have one president, one army, one government. He could not get it, but at least he got the organization at least. A new country, the United Republic of Tanzania, up to now, it's there. So, Nkrumah leaves behind that challenge to us, that we did not attain that, but the spirit has continued through, of course, those who were young, like Dr. Ngunda, they are still happy on that vision. The reality of it, I imagine, why not? Maybe in your lifetime, you may enjoy one being a commander of the United Forces of Africa. and United Army of Africa. And you may be able to serve under the federal government of Africa. That dream should not be seen to be in vain. I have recently been talking with a very wild idea, which I should use this. I think I should use this opportunity to, like I used it to be.